Hey there. Today I would like to talk about comics who actually try stuff. And by that, I don't mean that most comics don't try stuff. I mean comics that their whole thing is growth. They're constantly trying to get better. They haven't decided that they have their 15 minutes and that's it, and they're good. Which, when I say that, that sounds crazy if you're not a comic, or even if you're a comic, probably. I mean, the idea that you're trying to pursue a craft and you go, yeah, that's good enough, at knowing the bare minimum of it. Like 15 minutes isn't enough to open for people, but it's enough to host and do like showcases and stuff. It's definitely not enough to headline or selling tickets on your own. And it's also 1/4 the fun of an hour. So it's crazy to me how many comics get their 15 and stop writing. But last night I was on a show with multiple really good comics. It was Matt Farrell, Dace Carlson. Matt wasn't supposed to be on it. He was replacing a guy that didn't show up. Gary Williams, Josh Trio. And we also had a musician there. We had Toby Wayne. So you can look all these people up if you don't know about them. They're pretty funny comics from the Oklahoma area. But anyway, I was in the green room talking to Josh about, he had his notebook and he was writing stuff down, and I was like, hey, what are you working on there? And he goes, oh, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to word some of these jokes. I'm going to try a couple new things tonight. And he didn't say, I'm going to try a couple things tonight. Do you think that's a good idea? He's not asking for approval. He's not one of those people that's like, I'm thinking about trying something. He's just going to try something. It was a big show. There was a huge crowd. It was a low risk show, like most of them are. It wasn't like, there wasn't a bunch of people from Netflix there or anything, but it was a big crowd. And a lot of guys, when there's a big crowd like that, they're like, okay, I'm just going to do the hits. And I'm a big fan of just doing the hits when I'm not somewhere people have seen me before, but I do a lot of comedy in the same town, and I'm trying to get out more and more, and it is a little more difficult than you would think to book a show in, let's say, Chicago or Milwaukee or whatever. I mean, there's a few places people have told me, hey, if you come out here, I'll make sure I get you 20 tickets sold. Yeah, 20's great. To pay for the flight, we're going to need another 20. And then to pay for the hotel, we're going to need another 20. So sometimes I just go, you know what, I'm going to take a loss on this and do my best, and it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. But generally speaking, I have the same audiences, or same people, a few people in the audience every week or 3. I've had shows where 2 shows in a row, the audience was almost identical. So I can't just do the same 15. That being said, I won it anyway. It is easy to get stuck in that spot where you're like, it's working. Why would I mess with it? I think there is such a thing as overdoing the new stuff, trying new stuff, but at this point, I don't really care. I'm not doing it to impress you now. I'm doing it to get to where I can blow your mind later. That being said, I definitely want to get laughs. I'm not going to try to bomb for 10 years straight and then be hilarious overnight. But I'm okay with every 3rd or 4th show not going well, or somebody going, man, I heard that joke 2 months ago and it was different. Yeah, it's going to be different. That's how jokes work. I start with a joke that, if I believe in it, I'll keep working on it. If I believe in it and nobody in the audience does 5 or 6 tries in a row, I'll put it on the back burner for sure. But I will keep working on it. I've had some jokes that I didn't think were going to work, that I almost gave up on, that are some of my best jokes now. And I've had jokes that just hit right out the gate, but then they lost their luster. Like I did it, it was a perfect first time, words were perfect, everything was the same. Did it exactly the same 7 or 8 times in a row, different crowds, different places, and it was great. And then just overnight, it wasn't. And my only assumption on that is that's something I'm doing. So it's not the audience, it's not the time, I don't believe in the joke anymore. Or the reason the joke worked is it was new, so I was excited. And that's another thing about trying stuff. If you're trying new stuff, it works really good because people can tell you're excited. Like, people can tell you're nervous, you're excited, you think you're onto something, whatever. And a lot of comics are scared of that because they'll be nervous. And another comic that was on it last night that he's great, really, really funny guy, Dace Carlson. I know I mentioned him earlier, but I'm saying another person I talked to. Same thing. I was talking to Dace, and I was like, "What are you working on tonight? What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm doing 4 5-minute bits or 3 5-minute bits. No, it was 4. I'm dumb. He's doing 4 bits that are a few minutes each that add up to around 15 minutes. But the point is, he's going, I got number 1, it's 3 or 4 minutes, whatever. Number 2, 3 or 4 minutes. They're all things he does at open mics that it's one joke that makes for a perfect open mic set. So it's somewhere around the 3 to 5 minute mark. And he was just going to do 4 of them that he's never done together, that he hasn't got to stretch this long and see how they work together. And if I remember correctly, there was a little bit of space. It was like, let's say he's doing 15 minutes, but he has 4 that are like 3 minutes each. I'm not like a math person, but let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, okay. That gives you a little wiggle room. So what he was doing was he was trying a new structure that he hadn't got to try yet. He hasn't done a lot of stuff that was 15 minutes lately that wasn't, kind of a big deal. And that's part of why I like to run the shows the way I do. I get comics that want to fuck around and try shit. That being said, I'm not saying you should always come to one of my shows and if you're on the lineup, be like, I'm just doing all new shit. Maybe don't do that. I don't, if you do good when you do that, I don't care. As long as it's funny, I don't care. But I didn't realize until last night, I think when I book people, a big part of why I book them isn't just because I think they're funny or I think they're good or I think they're nice or they're going to show up on time. I think a big part of it is I think they're trying and they're trying to grow and I want to see them grow and be part of that and help them with that and have them help me with that. Dude, the amount of comics I've worked with that are constantly tweaking one thing and writing a new version of it and writing a completely new 5-minute set to do at open mics and whatever is crazy. It's a lot. Ah, shit. Sorry about that. I got an alarm going off. I got my fucking clock over there that my wife bought at Sam's going off. It plays Christmas music, dude. It's not Christmas time right now. It's hot outside. Why are we doing Christmas music right now, dude, on the clock? Every hour. Who came up with this idea that you need the clock to go off every fucking hour with Christmas music just to remind you that it's 10 in the morning? Dude, I knew it was 10 in the morning. I'm wearing a fucking watch. Also, why do old people love that shit? My wife's grandpa, he's like 90-something. Great guy. He has like 60 fucking clocks in his house. His house is big, but 60 fucking clocks is 58 clocks more than you should possibly need to have around the house that all make noise every hour. And when I first met him, he was he's still a really meticulous person, but he was really meticulous and he had them all synced up. So when it hits the hour at his house, you just hear chaos of bells, Tweety Bird things. He's got the one, the fucking cuckoo clock that, like, why you need a bird for your clock, dude? I don't want a bird in the clock. Sorry, Sophie. That was not an assault, though. She looked at me. She was like, hit me harder, bitch. She doesn't care. Anyway, I'm not going to hit you like I hit the pillow. That would be rude. I love you, baby. This is my dog. For those of you that are just listening, I have a dog that will not leave my side anytime she has the opportunity. Anyway, when I first met this man about 15 years ago, I went in his house. Everything's cool. I'm a big fan of watches, so clocks are, watch adjacent. I was like, oh, nice, cool. And then we're sitting down talking, and I just hear ding dong ding, and I was like, what the fuck is going on in here? Fast forward 15 years, that motherfucker's a little bit less good at being meticulous and has kind of given up. And now, for 12 minutes, there's clocks going off. Because some of them are fucking running fast, and some of them are running slow, and some of them are right on time. But somewhere in the ballpark of like, I don't know, 9:45 or 9:50 in the morning, you're going to hear the beginning of it. And then somewhere in the ballpark of 10:10, It's going to be over, hopefully. But you never really know. Sometimes there's one in the bedroom that's still going, and it's like, it's 20 minutes off, dude. What the fuck? And I know I said this podcast episode would be about writing or people that write or people, it was people that try. It was people that try, but then the clock went off, and who gives a shit? Why do you need me to stay on a topic? That's another thing. People go, what's the podcast about? I don't fucking know, dude. I heard that if you put shit out there and you make a podcast and people see it, it's another thing to put on YouTube. You can clip it and people like it or whatever. If you don't, that's cool. You're not supposed to be here, and that's fine. I don't know why you're here anyway, but I'm glad you're here. And I want to be honest with you. I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing comedy for fun. I'm doing tattoos for fun and money. I'm doing like sketches and shit like that. That's fun. This is just, it's a thing that I've been told people enjoy, and I like making shit, and I need you to come to one of my shows. So now I'm trying to appease you by sticking to one topic, but then the fucking clock goes off, my alarm goes off. I'm not sticking to a topic, bitch. I'm talking about whatever. I got a Juice WRLD record right there. It's not mine, it's my wife's, but like, did you know Juice WRLD put out records? That's what I'm saying. I can talk about anything. It's fine. You don't have to watch it. Why are you watching it anyway? This is weird. Or why are you listening to it? And are you masturbating right now? Because if you are, I hope you're just listening. Because if you're looking at this and masturbating, that would be really fucking weird. Because I'm just a bald dude in a sweatshirt with a fucking can of water and a dog. And also, are you thinking about my dog now? You fucking pervert. Don't be a pervert. Don't be thinking about my dog while you're beating your wiener. See, you thought I was going to say meat, but I tricked you there. I said wiener. But what are wieners made of? Meat. Go eat a hot dog. That's been an episode. Have a good day.